Like a snowball, building one good habit will help build others over time. A while ago, as a programmer but also startup solo founder, I noticed that my typing speed was not fast enough. It was still above average, but not personally fast enough. Between the time when I have an idea for an algorithm or feature implementation for my location-based language exchange app SewaYou until it's actually implemented, I tend to lose track of smaller and subtle details or ideas that could optimize the code or could have implemented better, faster, and more elegant solution. And the bottleneck was my typing speed. The more time it takes for my ideas to flow into actual implementations, the less optimized it becomes and the more time I wasted. So I decided to do some research in order to find a good website to practice code typing, which is quite different from usual text typing as you must include a lot of symbols and special characters while handling the auto-completion. By doing so, many other good habits snowball and help me optimize all aspects of my workflow, which was crucial to building my startup as a solo founder. However, it all started with being willing to unlearn things that I had learned wrongly in order to make more progress. To practice my code typing as a programmer, I found some useful websites such as SpeedCoder. After a few practice sessions, I got used to type quite fast the symbols that you often type when coding, like semicolons or curly brackets and so on. Feeling satisfied enough, I also wanted to improve my normal typing speed with normal words and sentences without too many special characters. So I come across a website called keybera.com, which I highly recommend to practice typing. It tracks all your progress and the generated texts are based on your performance. So the more mistakes you made with a certain pattern, the more often it will come back. Kind of like the N-key method. I then realized from reading the website introduction that I didn't actually know how to really type in the right conventional way. There are a lot of things in life that don't necessarily have one right way to do. But there are also a handful of things that actually do have the right way to do. This includes typing on a keyboard. I used to type using a lot of the time both my index fingers to cover a wide range of the keyboard keys. This typing method has its own limits since you don't make use of all your fingers and it's kind of like trying to play the piano with only half of your fingers. I then found out that there's actually something called touch typing and that's the right way to type. Basically, I used to look at a lot my keyboard when I type, but learning how to touch typing will make you type faster and you won't look at your keyboard anymore, even for some special characters that you don't use to type often. Have you ever noticed that on your keyboard there are actually two keys with a small bump on it so you can feel when touching it? Yep, the F and the J keys to place each of your two index fingers. By doing so, every other keys on the keyboard will fall naturally under your other fingers and you don't struggle much to reach them. I was so used to typing randomly with my index fingers while looking at my keyboard so that the first time when I tried the touch typing method, it feels so weird and uncomfortable. So I needed to forget the way I used to type on a keyboard and just try to follow strictly the touch typing method by pressing every single keyboard key with the proper associated fingers. Practicing 5 to 10 minutes every morning before starting work for months helps to increase my typing speed from around 60 words per minute to around 100 words per minute. I noticed then that one single improvement has led to multiple ones. While practicing typing, I felt kind of a sense of satisfaction to see all those words popping up on the screen without me having to endlessly and tirelessly look at my keyboard and press multiple times the backspace key. This leads me to wanting to type and write more and more sentences. Writing code is not a continuous process where you only focus on the typing part. You also have to test the code, run it, checking the documentation, finding solutions to your issues on Google and so on. So from a pure I want to type point of view, it's kinda slow you down. From that point, I started to write detailed documentations for the code as well as writing detailed Git pull requests contents explaining what features I've built. Even though I was the only one behind all my projects and products, I leave in-depth explanations on what I've built so that I can remember later when I took such decisions for that specific code block or features. Also, if one day I decided to onboard someone or share my code base to freelancers to outsource some features implementation, it will be much more easier for them to understand. Since documenting the code doesn't fulfill my thirst for writing, or should I say typing, I decided to give myself a try to build and start blogging. Fun fact, this YouTube video script itself was 80% already written on my personal blog 3 years ago, just to show that writing stuff can be useful. And even before that personal blog, I actually had another one, more technical blog, like 6 years ago, where I used to write about my pets and side programming projects. It was kind of like a portfolio technical blog to showcase my technical skills for potential employees back when I just graduated from college. Each blog post that I put on that technical blog required me to start and to a certain extent finish a complete project from scratch in order to produce just a single detailed technical blog post. That was kind of exhausting and required a lot of time and won't be sustainable in the long run, so I just lost the motivation to keep up writing. I write beforehand all my YouTube video scripts, and on these scripts I can talk about anything I want related to my subjects of interest like startup, programming, entrepreneurship, process of building products, and even learning foreign language. So the words will come out easily and I can keep up with the pace. So what I've learned is the better you get at something, the more you want to do it. I start to realize that the more I write using the touch typing method, the faster I type and the more I want to type and write. Along this process, my written communication skills also get improved, and I decided to also write a little bit more on community platforms such as Quora. Not only that, now I can use those written articles in the past to make YouTube videos today, so I can also improve my speaking communication skill. That's what I mean by snowball effect. The feeling of improvement is so satisfying because it becomes a virtuous cycle. It's like programming. When I started, I sucked at it and hated it, but the better I become, the more code I want to write, and the better then I become. Every big achievement starts with a small attempt to improve something. Adjacent habits will then come up naturally and everything compounds over time. I let you do the math on how many hours of your life you can save by just being able to type 25% faster than your current typing speed. Here's what ChatGPT has to say about it. That little personal blog that I started just for the sake of improving my typing actually led me to love typing and writing in general. And without that passion for writing, I wouldn't write script for these videos. And if this YouTube channel helps me bring in the future organic traffic to my products or help me connect to like-minded potential future hirings or even business partners, then I will look back to this video and I will realize that any big achievement has a small starting point where you try to make some tedious process or task in your life better. And this applies to giant tech companies that we all know today that started as a small startup trying to fix or improve one single thing at a time. So I hope you learned something new from this video today and are willing to unlearn and relearn some of your skills that might drastically improve your productivity and improve your life. What was the last thing that you have unlearned and relearned? Let me know in the comment section. I talked about mindsets that I adopt when building my startup as a solo founder in this video here, so check it out if you're interested. I release a new weekly video on this channel talking about some of the lessons I've learned building my own startup, so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the bell notification. Also follow me on Instagram for bite-sized short videos of the behind the scene of building a startup as a solo and foreign founder in Japan. See you in the next one. Bye.